shorts of these, and I know some people have probably already forgotten since it's been months, and I should have done this months ago, but this is my experience with the entirety of the Black Panther 2018 movie created by Marvel Studios, right? I just want to talk about it, kind of give it my review. I know it's 2025. I don't know, it's still good in 2025, right? Alright, so yes, this is right after the other my experience. Today I want to kind of take a break from playing video games, playthroughs, all that stuff, and kind of get some old school reviews out there for anyone that wants to see these. And I'll be back again because I need to share the stream before we really get started. Hi Tim Burners, how you doing? Welcome to stream. Alright, so let's start with the first thing I have written down here. Since these my experiences are kind of old school, so I have like everything about the movie I wanted to talk about like written down, which is interesting because the next one is Spider-Man Homecoming, so I gotta find a way to watch that sometime and write down what I got. Anyways, Wakanda, the movie starts. Oh, okay. The movie starts with us learning about Wakanda. So basically, like I'm remembering now. Since keep in mind at this timeline when I made the video, Game Master, welcome to stream. Before Black Panther took events before Avengers Infinity War, I think. Well, yeah, but like I was doing it through the MCU timeline. So basically, like for example, on Disney Plus, they have an MCU timeline, and this is how like me and Nick are watching the movie. So we're going in that order of movies. So that's why I'm doing Black Panther, and then I'll do Spider-Man around, right after. Well, not right after this in terms of streams, because I gotta actually sit down and watch the movie because I haven't seen the movie in a while. But anyways, so learning about like the place of Wakanda in the beginning, like learning why vibranium is so sacred. Why do these people like Black Panther and his people keep it out of the hands of everywhere around the world? Like the technology there is way more advanced than normal people's technology and all this other sort of shit or whatever the fuck. It's kind of a whole like thing, and them explaining it is actually kind of cool in this movie, right? The king of 1992 seeing a young T'Chaka as king, or T'Challa, because a young King T'Challa, or T'Chaka, like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, right? Black Panther, and I get it, like, Black Panther's origins kind of come from, like, origins such as, African-American culture and, like, with all the names, I guess, and all that other sort of shit. I am horrible with names, okay? So if I fuck up, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try to my best to correct myself in terms of names and whatnot. Since this is a live review after all, y'all can pitch in, and stuff. So for anyone that wants to know, hey, yo, welcome, Lucas. Wakanda forever, yep. Also, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. He passed away, not during this movie, but he passed away during the next one, or a little bit before, Black Panther 2 came out. That was a whole thing. I just want to say it now, so that way no one can get on my ass later for, oh, you forgot about the death of Chadwick Boseman since you're reviewing this way later than when the movie was actually made. It's a whole thing. But yeah, seeing a young king was kind of cool, right? Watching Prince T'Challa take out the Taliban, like, kind of like people, like, basically these evil people that were taking these African-American kids or African-American people and basically taking them back to their place to do slave shit and all that other sort of shit. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. He passed away in 2020, the worst year. Yeah, when COVID hit. Yeah, that's right. And he was a warrior. Yeah, he was a warrior fighting colon cancer for so long. Shoutouts to him. But yeah, I thought that moment was cool. The music in this movie is, like, kind of gives you, like, a tribal-like feel in this movie. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I would put on, like, one of the themes, but, like, keep in mind, if I put on the music for this movie, that copyright is about to come flying at me. Just like me showing you guys movie clips of the movie and stuff. Like, the copyright claim from Marvel Studios themselves about to come flying at my front door saying, let me make that money from you real quick, even though I don't even make anything from these videos 90%. Well, that's actually not true. I do make something, but it's not like $4,000, okay? It's like fucking cents. It's baby shit. But then again, you know, Marvel has to interact or copyright, so I get it. But yeah, but the music in this movie, to describe it for you guys, since we can't like listen to it, it's more tribal. It's more I know that's a horrible way of talking about the music, but that's what it kind of sounds like. It sounds like something you would hear if you went to like Africa or something, or and listen to what their music is kind of like. That's what the music the best way I can describe the music is in this movie. Anyway, Killmonger's first scene with him talking to this lady and sadly murking her, but before that he was talking to her about like the history of a certain thing, and because they to explain the scene better, Killmonger, aka I can't remember his regular fucking name, was in a museum with these other guys, but the other guys didn't show up. Are you Muslim? No, I believe I am more Christian, but anyways, can you do your experience watching Big Hero 6 the movie next? I don't really care about my watching that movie, but where are you from, bro? I am from Phoenix. I am an Arizonan. I am Arizona all the way. I've been born here and raised here, so there. Because a lot of people ask me that, but anyways, I digress, right? So Killmonger was in this museum. He was looking at the artifacts that he clearly had an interest in, and the lady was trying to tell him, hey, these are the origins of this specific thing. And Killmonger was like, what the fuck you talking about? That's a fabricated history. No, the fuck it isn't. This is actually the history of this object, you stupid motherfucker. And I think later she got murked and it was a whole thing, and I was like, what the that was that was a whole thing. That was a weird like scene. But how old is your brother Lubit? 24. My brother is 1 year older than me. Anyways, M'Baku, I can't remember, M'Baku in the Marvel movies, if I remember correctly, he was like this insane weapons dealer that was in Avengers Age of Ultron. He was in, I think, maybe a few of the Iron Man movies before this. And basically, M'Baku, to describe his character, he is always doing shady deals and shady shit behind the scenes, like selling weapons parts, weapons shit for deals, for money, and all this other sort of shit. So M'Baku is not a good person. But M'Baku walking up disrespecting Prince T'Challa by saying he couldn't save his father, and that turned to a whole thing because Black Panther and I think maybe a few members of his people were trying to get M'Baku because he has vibranium. He somehow snuck vibranium out of Wakanda and into the surface, or found it outside of Wakanda, and Black Panther and them need to get that shit back, and it was a whole thing. Prince T'Challa versus M'Baku was a solid fight, / T'Challa becoming king. So I kind of want to show y'all a little bit of that, just a little bit. Versus M'Baku. Let me find, M'Baku, yeah. It's a brief, oh, wait, no, actually, okay, my bad. I wouldn't think, M'Baku is not from other Marvel movies. He was basically one of the other tribe dudes, but basically, I'm talking about after the Killmonger, scene here, I thought M'Baku for a minute, for most of this, was fucking dude with the fucking arm cannon or whatever the fuck from like other Marvel movies and Age of Ultron and stuff. No, he was not in Age of Ultron. Let me just prove myself right here so that way people don't get on me later on. M'Baku is this dude. Let me show you. This is M'Baku. He's basically one of the other tribes in Wakanda's location, and basically I'm gonna show you a little bit of the fight, just a little bit of it, right? Just a little bit of it. Not too much, just a little bit. This fight was actually pretty dang cool to watch. But just to show you a little bit of it, so that we're not lost on context, that's basically the fight with M'Baku versus T'Challa. And I think M'Baku won the fight, or maybe, I can't even remember who won the fight, because keep in mind, I watched this movie forever ago. Yo, Alan, hey, I just got done watching the other stream. Hey, thank you for watching that. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a very weird situation I got myself in, to be honest. Anyways, watch how you become the Black Panther is so nuts, right? So basically, one of the things I talked about is how you become the Black Panther, because obviously, you know, Prince T'Challa became the Black Panther, if I remember correctly. It was either him or M'Baku became the Black Panther. I can't fucking remember this movie. Thank God I have my notes, but you get my point, right? This is why I review the movie when I fully remember them, like a day or so after, or a few days, or maybe a week. Not like over 4 months after I watched the movie. Anyways, so basically, becoming the Black Panther is a whole process. You're literally, like, I think it's so like weird, because I don't know how to describe it, / I hope I describe it like the best. I'm just gonna try and describe it the best way I can possible, right? So basically, whenever you become Black Panther in this movie way, I don't know if it's the same exact way in the comics. I don't know if it's completely different. If you've read the Black Panther comics, and let me know how they do the whole ritual to get the powers, right? So basically, you get on the floor, you know, they grab this rare fruit that they have growing in Wakanda that has the powers of the mythical Black Panther or whatever, right? And basically they not only, like, dig a hole, but they bury you within that hole, have you drink the drink, close your eyes, sleep, but also semi-bury you, or not semi-bury you, but fully bury you until, you know, you kind of enter the dream-like world or whatever. I don't know what type of world it is, but it's basically like where all of Black Panther's ancestors go, or whatever, passed down from ancestor to ancestor to ancestor. Think of like somewhat the Avatar state, where basically, like, if you're an Avatar, you can call on the other motherfuckers for advice. I really should review Avatar sometime. I just realized I haven't done that. I really should review Avatar in some way, shape, or form on this channel. I love Avatar, but you get my point, right? It's kind of like that in a weird way, but also kind of not. It has its differences, right? So after the ritual is done, in terms of becoming the Black Panther, they wake up. Once they awoken, they get, not only they get the powers, but they got to make sure the powers doesn't reject them, and it's a whole thing, right? And just watching that was kind of intense, because I'm like, dang, I don't think I've ever seen anyone get powers like this. I mean, because keep in mind, every character in Marvel, or most characters in Marvels, get their powers in completely different ways, right? Like, for example, Hulk got his powers from an experiment gone wrong, right? Steve Rogers, Captain America, the original Captain America, got his powers from, you know, having a super soldier serum, you know, within his, you know, getting injected into his body. That's why he's super crazy, super strong, right? You got fucking Iron Man that just, you know, he builds things to make himself powerful and to stand a chance against the things, you know what I mean? So everyone has their own unique way of getting power. So just seeing T'Challa's way / you know, Black Panther's way was kind of cool. The bar / casino fight scene / car chase scene was a little cool. I remember that scene. I remember, like, going crazy over that scene. That was a whole thing. Are you drawing? See, to answer your question on drawing real quick during this review, I do draw, but I don't draw a lot. I mainly gave up on drawing because I just couldn't get to the next level. I could just never do it, right? And I could just never pay attention enough to drawing, you know? I had a real passion for it, but, like, I even made it my experience on drawing, and why I think my drawing over the years has just been the same. It's been stagnant. It hasn't improved. You know, if I really wanted to draw, I would have done it and do it. But, you know, I focused on YouTube too much, and that's where I'm at right now. But anyway, I digress. Kalu telling Agent Ross everything about Wakanda. I can't even remember who the name of that. Kual, shout out with had a shootout with Killmonger. Where Kalu is basically like the sister, if I remember correctly, is the sister of Prince T'Challa. She had a fight with Killmonger for a little bit, and Kalu telling Agent Ross about everything about Wakanda, how Wakanda works, how Wakanda tech works, and all that other sort of shit. Because you know, one of the other guys, aka I think it was Agent Ross or Agent Rhodes or Agent whoever the fuck. I can't remember their name all that well, but we're gonna move on. T'Chaka taking his bro's life because he tried to kill him is crazy. So basically, the father of Prince T'Challa had basically his brother on the outside of Wakanda living a normal life, trying to live a normal life, and because he lived a normal life, a normal shady life, T'Chaka's brother, Prince T'Challa's father's brother, right? He tried to live a normal life. That normal life was kind of painful, so he did a lot of things he wasn't proud of and shit. And, you know, the Prince of, you know, also I think he was also selling vibranium or whatever over there. I can't remember all that well, but basically Prince T'Chaka, the King T'Chaka at the time, you know, Prince T'Challa's father. This is the stuff that made me puke, but I drink it anyway because, I don't know. I don't like drinking water, frosted water. Excuse me, tap water. But, basically, you know, he was doing shady shit. King of Wakanda found out. They talked. They were like, brother, let's talk this out. Let's talk this out. I don't want violence. I just want to know why the fuck you did it. / it's the whole thing. And honestly, I really felt like, you know, Prince T'Challa's dad, T'Chaka, really could have handled the situation so much better. Like, maybe take him back to serve a punishment or something, and maybe take the kid over there and have him live a life. But it's so fucked up because he not only kills his own flesh and blood, his own brother, because of the shady shit his brother was doing, but because he killed him and had no idea that there was a little kid he had left behind. He didn't, or actually, I think his father knew about the kid, didn't take the kid anyway, killed his dad and left the kid for rot for the rest of his days, right? Really fucked up, and you wonder why Killmonger became the menace of this movie. I don't blame him, but anyways, right? But that scenario happened. I do remember that very well. Tucker Burrows, I'm trying to my best to review a movie I should have reviewed over 4 months ago. Marvel Studios' Black Panther from 2018. Anyways, Killmonger talking about wanting the throne. I remember Killmonger talking about, I want the throne. I want everything in this fuck-ass room. I want everything in this house. What's up, cousin? Or should I say, what's up, bro? How you doing? I want the whole thing to myself. I deserve it after the life I had and everything I did, going through war, going through everything in the outside world stuff. I have a lot of experience. You're cooked. You know, whatever Killmonger was saying in the movie, I can't remember, but he wanted that throne because of everything that happened to him outside, and he felt like his people betrayed him, and it's a whole thing, right? So, Killmonger versus King T'Challa was a hard fight to watch, and Zuri's death was sad. So, basically, the reason why Killmonger and, and I'm actually going to show you guys the fight, because I think this fight is worth watching. It's the first fight, Black Panther actually kind of lost, right? And it was a whole thing. Black Panther. Great. Yeah. It was like the first, yeah, right here. It was their first fight. It was when basically what happened was Killmonger, because he's of royal blood to the Prince T'Challa bloodline, he can order. I think the fight happened because he ordered a duel. And keep in mind, in Black Panther's area, the way they settle fights is they settle it in a 1v1 duel on this weird ass rocky environment. All right, the whole thing over there. Right, so I'm gonna show you why it's sad. Right, I'm gonna skip through it so that way we're not showing the whole fight, it's the whole thing. Right. So, the whole thing. Yeah, this was fucked. Dude, he humiliated. He humiliated Prince T'Challa, right? In that fight. And I only have to show a little bit because you already know how Marvel Studios is. I'm probably already copyrighted already by just showing 2 fights, but I remember that fight like it was yesterday. I mean, I said I don't remember the movie, but I'm starting to remember as I'm coming back to it. That fight was hard to watch because not only Zuri admitted that he was the reason his dad died, and, you know, his brothers tried to cover up Zuri's shit, like his insults and all that stuff, to cover up for Zuri's mistakes, right? Because Zuri was the one that made the mistake, but Prince T'Chaka's brother decided to take the fall instead and put himself as the bad guy. I think that's what happened, like the scenario, but at least, because Zuri, I think in that fight, like, he just couldn't handle it anymore. Watching, like, his dad's son and his brother's, you know, and his dad's brother's son scrap right in front of him, and he just had to come clean with it. You know, one of the biggest lies in all of, you know, Wakanda was, you know, what Zuri did, and Zuri decided to admit it right then and there to Killmonger's face to hopefully stop the fight, but Killmonger was a different breed. He said, fuck that shit, I'm gonna take you out and him out, and basically it ended up happening where Zuri died, as you guys just watched, and later on in that fight, boy Black Panther, aka main dude, Prince T'Challa, actually died too, and was thrown off the whole fucking thing on top of that. So Killmonger won the fight, but it was in such a disrespectful way. It was crazy, right? But anyways, number 15, watching Killmonger, right? Because Killmonger also got the powers of Black Panther through the traditional ways. Because after he got the power of Black Panther, he also did a lot of crazy things before he got the power, right? When he became king, he told the people in Wakanda to burn down all the plants, all the leaves that would give the Black Panthers their powers. I'm going to be the last remaining one, okay, in this whole fucking thing. I'm going to be the last one here, so burn it all to the ground. By the way, before they burnt, the order to burn everything to the ground, one of the other girls that was on the good team, that was on Prince T'Challa's side and shit, actually went in that room while they weren't looking to grab one of the plants, right? One of the plants that gives Black Panther powers, and dipped. So I just randomly remembered that, but you get my point, right? So while Killmonger was getting the powers, he actually, instead of visiting all the other Black Panther dudes that were Black Panthers before him, like Prince T'Challa did, he actually got a visit from his dad, which I thought was really cool because it shows how different Killmonger and Prince T'Challa are as people, right? You know, Prince T'Challa, he got the powers the right way, you know, he did everything right, so he got to see the other guys. But since Killmonger was alone all of his life, he went through war, he went through a lot of different things to not only harden up his body, but toughen his mind and all sorts of shit. he got a visit from his dad, the only person that, you know, he gave a damn about. And his dad, you know, his dad was talking to him, I think, about, like, his regrets. And I think he was even apologizing to Killmonger or something like that. And I think, like, him and his dad had a moment, but, like, I'm trying to remember if the moment was, like, all that good. Like, I can't remember if, I think Killmonger's dad was trying to tell him to go a different route, to go a different path. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me in the comments down below or live chat if you remember watching the movie up to this point or something like that, right? Because I was thinking, like, his dad was trying to tell him something different, but because of that, and I think it's because Killmonger was so in his ways by this point, like, of, you know, becoming the Black Panther, changing the entire ways of Wakanda and all that shit, right? He just kind of told his dad, hey, Dad, it's no biggie. Don't worry about me. I'm peeking. I'm straight. I'm flames. I'm, you know, think of all the weird slang. I'm just kidding. Killmonger never used the slang, but you get my point. He's basically on that energy, right? Like, I don't give a fuck type of energy. I'm going to do what I want to do, and it was a whole thing. Even though his dad tried to maybe explain to him to be better or something. It's whatever. I don't fucking remember that part. All right, but anyways, watching T'Challa yell at his father for his wrongs was raw. So basically, this is the moment I was talking about, because T'Challa, after T'Chaka explained everything to him about him killing his own brother, killing his own kind, basically committing treason to Wakanda in general for killing another Wakandian. All right, and hiding it up with Zuri and stuff, with having that massive plan to hide it with him and whatever, and it was a whole thing. Prince T'Challa actually yelled at his dad saying, you're fucking wrong for doing this. You left a boy, knowing that he had a kid. You left that boy by him, and I don't blame Prince T'Challa at this at all, because even I said, hey, if my dad died and some random dude just came in, murked him, and I had no idea who it was, the murder never got solved, it was like just a random ass fucking event that happened, I would become evil too. I would probably go rogue too. I ain't even gonna hold, right? And Prince Charles was yelling at him because of that. He was like, you left a fucking child, a little ass kid, with a fucking dead dad at his fucking doorstep with no way of saying, hey, come to Wakanda with us and shit. He did nothing wrong, yet you gave all the wrongdoings of his father to his son and left him there just to rot, to live on his own. And keep in mind, Killmonger was basically like living on his own, like from age, I think like, at this point in time, I think it was like maybe like, like 12, 13, maybe 14, maybe. I don't know, right? And it's like, when you leave a kid, especially at that age, maybe even younger, or just a kid at all, right? That kid is going to have a completely different perspective on life. That kid, Killmonger, keep in mind, because of what Prince T'Challa's father did, he grew up hating Wakandians. He grew up wanting to do all this shit. Zori would never have died. Everyone in Wakanda here would never have suffered. You know, if Prince T'Chaka just took him in, raised him like a son, and tried to explain shit to him later in life. It would have been a lot better. Maybe. I don't fucking know, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know down below in the comments. But I agree with Prince T'Challa all the way. I would have, if I was king in that scenario, I would not even killed my brother. I would have given him a trial. Also taken his son away from Earth and in the land of Wakanda, okay? Because it was a whole thing. And I get it. Situation was tough. It was like moment to moment shit, but I'm just saying I would have handled things differently too. Even in that moment, I would have handled things completely differently. But yeah, that moment was raw because not only Prince Charles was trying to explain to his dad how wrong he was, even for a king to do that, and that was a whole thing. I don't want to stretch the video on that one point, but anyways, you get it. You get it. That moment was cool. If you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. Killmonger versus the ladies was a short but really cool fight. And what I mean by the ladies, aka, you know, if you guys remember the Wakandian warriors, like these bald ladies with spears. I do not remember their names at all, or I do not remember the names. But just watching Killmonger fight with them, I think they're the Chatalenque. I don't even fucking remember. I'm not even gonna try to remember, right? But they were badass ladies, like going up against him and shit, trying to fight him off. Like it was just kind of cool to watch, right? It was a whole thing. Fuck. Ross making sure the bad guys don't escape slash Jabari saved. I guess Jabari saved was kind of cool. I was also writing this in a panic. Another great fight was Killmonger versus T'Challa again, right? But it was when, you know, they were both having the Black Panther suits on and shit. And that fight was really cool because it was kind of a fight between two people who grew up with on completely polar opposite ends. One child had everything and the other child had nothing. And the child that had nothing was the one who lashed out first, and it was a whole thing, right? And honestly, I kind of felt bad for Killmonger. I know Killmonger did a lot of awful things in this movie, like starting from killing people in the museum, you know, fucking around and finding out with a lot of other people on Earth and shit. But again, keep this in mind. He was left alone at a very young age, man. That changed a man. And then on top of that, he went to the army, so that was another thing that completely changed him. And obviously, when you enter the army, you know, regardless of who you are before it, you're gonna be fucking different when you get out, you know. So that changed him. There were so much events that like kind of changed that man for like the worse in so many ways. It's not even funny, right? But one line that he said, and I don't think I'm going to show you the fight, mainly just to save this video's beacon, but death is better than bondage. When Killmonger said death is better than bondage, because keep this in mind, T'Challa wasn't going to kill Killmonger. He was going to have him answer for his crimes. He was going to serve his sentence or whatever, and then get out or whatever or something. Or maybe be put to the death penalty or whatever. I don't know what his punishment actually was, because Killmonger, instead of doing that, he decided, and keep in mind, bondage in this case, in his quote, was basically jail. Death is better than jail, basically, or prison, or, you know, enslavement, or whatever the fuck Wakanda was going to do with him, right? It's better than bondage. That shit went hard, and he took the knife out of himself and basically died on that hill that they were sitting at, looking at like one of the best sunrises in all of Wakanda, like one of the best areas to see the sun going down or sun rising or whatever. That was a wild, like, moment thing. Seeing Wakanda spreading out for the first time, I love that Prince T'Challa saw all the mistakes of his fathers before him and said, you know what? Fuck this secrecy shit. I'm going to start spreading out vibranium to the rest of the world, because unlike the kings before me, I need to step up in the right direction and not continuously hide my shit from people, right? And sure, obviously, it's going to bring new dangers to the world by me spreading out my vibranium to the world, but I don't give a fuck. I mean, I give a fuck, but I don't give a fuck, because I need to do something different than my fathers before me and step up and not be afraid of the consequences of me doing those said things. Because keep in mind, all the other kings before Prince T'Challa were afraid that once this shit gets into the wrong hands, it's over for Wakanda as people. Like, it's over just for them. Like, all the other kings, and keep in mind, that's what kings do, right? They think about themselves and their people, but, like, that's what I love between Prince T'Challa and the other kings, is not only Prince T'Challa thinks about himself and his people, he also got a perspective on the outside world throughout this entire fucking movie with Killmonger. If Killmonger didn't come over, I bet you they probably would have kept all their vibranium in secret. I bet you. But because Killmonger kind of showed up and kind of showed T'Challa what it's like outside, what it's like for a lot of other kids, like not only just African kids, but a lot of other kids are struggling with on the outside world, he was like, we need vibranium to spread out now. I'm going to share it with the world, starting with here, and then maybe we have multiple different factors outside, and it's a whole other fucking thing. It's a thing, the weird thing, but you get it. And honestly, my final thoughts, by the way, I watched the movie originally back in April, so of course, April 15th of 2025, so of course I'm not going to remember this. But honestly, when I watched it in 2025, earlier this year, way earlier this year, like month three of this year, I think, January, February, March, okay, fourth month, whatever, I'm one off. But I thought this movie was just great overall. Like, it wasn't like a bad movie. The CGI was really good. Like, it still stood out. The music was great. The action pieces was great. The story was great. The characters don't feel soulless. I know a lot of newer Marvel movies get that flag, like saying, dude, this just feels soulless. This doesn't feel like Marvel anymore. It feels like half-baked stories or whatever the fuck. But to me, which we'll get there when we get there, but currently right now, I think, Black Panther, this movie in particular is a solid movie. I think you can watch this even in 2025 and have a good time with it. And shout out again to Chadwick Boseman's performance. And everyone else's performance in this movie was great too. It was top notch. But definitely shout out to Chadwick Boseman. Sorry, I get the name mixed up. Shout outs to him because, wow, his performance as Black Panther was so inspiring. Because keep in mind, this movie, when this came out, I want to let y'all know, right? Inspired a fucking wave. I'm talking people on Twitter, Wakanda forever, like every day for like over a week. Like, this movie was so cool back in 2018. It defined 2018 for a period of time, being like one of the coolest movies like ever, man. And I can understand that to some extent now, because it's like after rewatching the movie scenes and re-reviewing the movie and remembering it myself and just remembering how good of a movie it actually was. It told a really good story from beginning, middle, and end. It had a lot of emotional moments in there. It had a lot of funny moments, and it kind of balanced itself out in all aspects in a really good way. Unlike probably future Marvel movies. Not like future ones right after this. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming in literal years. So, but anyways, guys, that's it. What do you guys think of my review? Let me know down below in the comments. Do you guys like Black Panther, or maybe do you guys like Black Panther 2 more? Let me know down below in the comments. And I don't know when I'll get to Homecoming. Maybe, if my dad has work or something, I'll maybe prop it up one day, and I will get to watching it. I'll go back to watching Marvel movies because my dad has Disney Plus. I want to let y'all know my dad has Disney Plus, so I'll try and watch it over there sometime. But obviously, reviews are not going to be nowhere near as fast or nowhere near as frequent in terms of Marvel movie reviews as before. So unless I want to spend like over 4 hours trying to watch like multiple movies. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. I know people are probably looking forward to me doing some gaming today, but I kind of wanted to take a break because I gamed it like a lot yesterday, and I kind of just want to talk. But yeah, anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna be uploading shorts today. Maybe not. Definitely gotta get back on that Anton Blast recording streak, so that needs to happen. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends, do all that shit. Thank you guys so much for 4,068 subscribers, or 4,069, or 4,070 subscribers. I don't know where we're at, but just thank you for helping me reach that goal. We're almost at 4,100 subscribers, so if we keep on going, keep on subscribing, keep on watching the videos, the shorts, everything, just thank you for supporting me, man. Y'all are the best. Y'all are the reason I'm still here doing this shit, man. Just thank you. Hope you guys all have a good day. If I upload shorts, I'll let you know on my Discord server. Also, join my Discord. I think my Discord is on my About page. And if it's not, ask me in the comments. I will provide you a link to join my Discord server. Alright. Anyways, take care, y'all.